Welcome to Atlanta for the 7th and deciding game of the National League Championship Series between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Atlanta Braves.
But if he does, it will be bucking a trend for Atlanta pitchers, the starting pitchers. Steve Avery went only a third of an inning on Sunday night.
He hasn't done that. He walked 80 this year in 246 innings.
And he walks Cole to start the ball game. Alex did not swing at a pitch, and he walked on 5 pitches.
Good news and bad news so far for Smoltz. He's throwing hard, but he's been wild.
Jay Bell, even in the first inning.
He had 9 this year in the first inning.
He pops that one up. Berryhill makes the running catch. In League Championship Series play, have ever blown a 3-1 lead. That's a fair ball. Past the dive of Sid Bream and down into the corner. Fielded by Justice. Cole will be held at third. Van Slyke in a second with a double.
Andy Van Slyke is the best low ball hitter on the Pirate team. Left-handed batting order facing right-handers. But last night he was thinking about it, and he said, I think I'll move Merced to the 5th hole, and it could pay early dividends here in the first inning. Jeff King batting 6th this evening.
Well hit. Right field. Deep enough to get the run in as Justice makes the catch in front of the track. Cole across with the first run of the ball game, and the Pirates lead 1-0 in the first inning. And he's running, and King pops it up. Berryhill and Pendleton. It's Berryhill to end the inning. The Pirates are on the board with 1 run in the top of the first after half an inning. Pittsburgh 1 and Atlanta coming up.
And if you're keeping score at home, write quickly.
Now the 2-2. Chico Lean throws him out. 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first. The Pirates lead 1-0 on a sacrifice fly by Orlando Merced in the top of the first. A home run in game 1 of this year's LCS. King, the diving stop, to his feet to throw him out.
Fine play by Jeff King.
In the air in right field, not deep. Cole the catch. The Braves go in order in the first after 1 in game 7. 1-0 Pittsburgh.
And there the left-handed trio versus Smoltz.
That's why they're in there. Those are the 3 highest batting averages on the Pittsburgh team lifetime against Smoltz. LaValliere strikes out. 1 out of the second. That's the first strikeout of the night. Lead the league in strikeouts since Phil Niekro back in 1977. Pendleton was playing even with the bag, and he throws leaned out. 2 down in the second. The Pirates lead 1-0.
In the World Series in 1964, 7-8.
Drabek with a high fly ball along the right field line for Justice. The Pirates go in order in the second. After an inning and a half, 1-0 Pittsburgh. Over the years for David Justice, he hit a home run in each of his last 2 times up last night off the knuckleballer Tim Wakefield. Tried to check his swing but could not. And the lengthy battle ends with Drabek on top. It's his first strikeout of the night. Slowly to second to Chico Lean. 2 down in the second. Drabek has retired the first 5 Atlanta hitters tonight.
So far, Doug Drabek has not.
The 1-2 pitch. Line to center on the run. Van Slyke dives and makes a great catch. That's the defensive play of the series to date. Fastball lifted along the line into foul ground, and again on the mound Gant, but this time he stays with the play for the first out of the inning.
You can see Ron Gant looking down at the mounds there. We've made some comments.
And he blew him away with the fastball. Smoltz has retired 6 in a row. That's his second strikeout of the night.
It's not necessarily the pitch.
In this series, Van Slyke is now 4 for 8 against Smoltz. Routine fly ball for Justice. The Pirates go in order again. On to the bottom of the third in Game 7 of the National League Championship Series. 1-0 Pirates. To have him ready for the possibility of appearing in this Game 7, but Jim Leland told us that never crossed his mind. Berryhill drives one to deep center field. Van Slyke on the run to the wall. It's off the wall. He has a long way to go to track it down, but Berryhill is slow and he stops at second.
Field the ball, but the count's a ball and 2 strikes.
It would take a well-placed hit to get Berryhill in. He does not run well. That's down to third. Berryhill cannot advance as King throws Lemke out.
One thing about a play like that, when a third baseman is that far off the line, so less than 5 innings, so he should be fairly strong tonight, and he's throwing like it.
Little looper leaned with the leaping grab in shallow right center. Smoltz got just a bit more of that. It would have found its way into right center field. But Lean covers as much ground as any second baseman in the game. Sharply hit, but Merced has it. And the Braves cannot capitalize on the leadoff double by Berryhill. 3 innings in the books in Atlanta. 1-0 Pirates. The 2-0 offering. A bullet to right. Justice makes the catch. The sinking line drive with topspin off the bat of Bonds. A hard ball to handle, but Justice made a nice play. Just as Smoltz started into his delivery, Merced has driven in the only run of the ball game with a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Chopped to second. Lemke. 2 down, and Smoltz has retired 10 in a row now. (2-0) the count on Jeff King, who popped out and foul ground to the catcher his first time up. Pendleton, trouble with the in-between hop, recovers and throws him out. 3.5 innings played in Atlanta. Game 7 of the National League Championship Series. 1-0 Pirates.
Atlanta winning the first 3 out of 4 games, and now Pittsburgh with 2 wins and a 1-0 lead in this game.
The 3-2 pitch. Got him with a breaking ball. Blauser the first out of the 4th. That's the second strikeout of the night for Doug Drabek. Both Drabek and Smoltz pitching on 3 days rest for the second consecutive start. So the pitch count you saw moments ago could be a factor as the night goes along. Merced waves off Drabek. 2 outs. We're in the 4th inning in Game 7 of the National League Championship Series, and the Pirates lead 1-0.
Consecutive World Series games before that outing. We lost 4-1, and the Tigers came from 3 down.
Shot down to first. It's been a busy night already for Merced. That ends the inning. The Braves go in order again after 4. The Pirates 1 and the Braves nothing. 0 for 84 years without a world championship. Well, now you're called out on strikes. That string, the ground out by Chico, leaned in the 2nd inning. Well hit and hooking toward the corner. Gant was over in left center field. He has a long way to go to retrieve it. And Chico leaned as a one-out double. The second hit of the night for the Pirates. The first was the double in the first inning by Andy Van Slyke.
Well, the outfield will usually be that way. So watching that outfield alignment gives you a pretty good clue.
Struck him out on the breaking ball. Drabek lost the bat.
Well, this one is away. A tight slider.
And the top of the order comes around for the third time. Alex Cole walked to lead off the ball game, and he has scored the only run of this game. That's well hit to right. Justice in front of the track makes the catch. Halfway through Game 7 of the National League Championship Series, John Smoltz and the Braves trail 1-0. He has the advantage tonight by having pitched poorly his first two times out because he's thrown fewer pitches than Smoltz. And pitching on the same number of days rest. Bell throws out Bream. One out in the fifth. Now the 2-2. Check swing. It's a strike nonetheless. Gant called out on the breaking ball. The third strikeout of the night for Doug Drabek. We don't know if it was a swing on the check swing by Gant, but we certainly know that he took a full swing at the bat rack when he returned to the dugout. The one hopper to lean. And the Braves go in order again. They've done that 4 times in 5 innings, and will return to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium after this word from to win a postseason series. And the Pittsburgh Pirates have done it twice in their history. Bell rips one into the left field corner. Gant will play it off the wall as Jay Bell pulls in a second with a double. So these two teams have combined for 4 hits in the game, and all 4 of them.
Pittsburgh pitcher unavailable.
Up the middle. Lemke can't get it. Bell being waved around, and he will score, and the Pirates lead 2-0. Andy Van Slyke. Second inning. The pop-up. Pendleton takes command. 1 out. Really, that was an appropriate label for the graphic.
Wants to play aggressive baseball. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Van Slyke running here. Hit and run.
In the air. In shallow right center. Justice the catch.
That was Jim Leyland's plans.
Van Slyke on the run. King lifts it. And in left center, Gant has room. The Pirates score again with 1 run in the 6th. And the reality of the 2-run deficit starting to set in. There's a base hit. And that brings the fans to their feet. Just the second base runner of the night for Atlanta. And Mark Lemke ends his 0-for-11 drought. This will be pitch number 73 of the night for Drabek. Slap to left. A little pop-up. Long run for Bonds. He can't get it. Lemke to second. It's a bloop hit off the bench for Jeff Treadway. He squares to bunt. A high chopping bunt could be a problem. Merced has no play. But they've loaded the bases with nobody out. They're down 2-0 in the 6th. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball line to third. Caught. Double play. Right at King was the line drive, and he easily doubled off Lemke.
Hundreds of times during the year, the third base coach with a runner on third and less than 2 outs to the plate. Close pitch.
Apparently it was just low. The runner's off with the 3-2 pitch. Line to left. Bond started in. He's there and makes the catch. The Braves loaded the bases with nobody out and failed to score the double play. A huge play. And we go to the 7th with the Pirates still on top, 2-0.
And Pittsburgh escapes without yielding a run, and Mike Stanton, the left-hander, in there.
Greeted immediately by the base hit by Mike LaValliere. Jim Leland left the left-handed swinging LaValliere in there to face Stanton, and Stanton's first pitch delivered to left. Stanton has been perfect in his 4 appearances. 3 games to 1 down to win a series. The Pirates have done it twice in their history. Trying to do it again as Lean sends one to right center. Nixon playing in that direction with the catch for the first out. The first team to ever come from 3-1 down was the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1925. They did that against Washington. 13 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings in the postseason for Stanton. He's just 24 years old. Drabek gets the bunt down. Bream has to go to first. Lemke covering. It's a sacrifice. The play goes 3-4, and Pittsburgh has a runner in scoring position with 2 down. LaValliere at second base.
With a better defensive outfielder, either Espy or Gary Varsho, both left-handed hitters. Espy a switch hitter, of course. But with Jay Bell, you may bring the right-hander in, and Bell has to stay in the ball game because he's the regular shortstop. Pete Smith 7-0 this year. He was 7-4 at Richmond.
Now the 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. He walked him on 4 pitches.
That was a breaking ball. A breaking ball on a 3-0 count with Van Slyke and Bonds coming up. No way. No way.
22-year-old Steve Avery with another 1-2 pitch. Fly ball. It'll stay in the ballpark. And Otis Nixon is there. The Pirates leave the bases loaded without scoring in the 7th. 7th inning stretch in game 7. The Pirates up 2-0. McClendon still in the game in right field. Lean bobbled from his knees. Threw him out. Merced had to dig it out. 1 out in the 7th inning.
We saw the bullpen, a left-hander and a right-hander up. I think one of the difference was in 73. One of them was a loss, Tom Seaver.
Sid Bream lines it. It's slicing away from Van Slyke and in for an extra base hit. Bream, after 5 knee operations, doesn't run very well, and it doesn't really matter in this case. It's a double all the way for the former Pirate, Sid Bream. Another payoff pitch. Ball 4.
What a great at-bat by Ron Gant. Fouling off some tough pitches.
Barry Hill in the hole, 0-2. Mark Lemke is on deck. High fly, not particularly deep in left field. Bonds the catch for the 2nd out. Lemke is looking back toward the Braves dugout. They're both standing and watching out there now. The 1-2 pitch. High fly ball, shallow center. A routine play for Van Slyke. And the Braves strand 2 more. They've left 5. We go to the 8th.
The Pittsburgh bullpen is quiet right now.
Barry Bonds leads off against Steve Avery with a base hit. He took a 1-0 pitch into right field for his first hit of the night. He's 1 for 3. And for the 3rd straight inning, the Pirates have the lead man on. Avery has difficulty holding runners on. Merced chops one to short. Blauser shuffles to Belliard. They cut down the lead runner. Slap down the right field line. It is a fair ball right along the line. The runner is being waved around third. Merced to the plate, and he is out at home. The crew, and no umpire along the right field line. But Ed Montague made the right call. It was a fair ball. Now the 1-2 pitch. Softly toward left. Gant makes the running catch. The Braves come up in the 8th, still trailing by only 2-0.
And once in the National League.
2-2 pitch. Struck him out. Blew him away with the fastball.
Drabek just trying to throw strikes.
Bonds on the run into the bullpen area to make the catch. Struck him out. Another live fastball from Drabek, who works a 1-2, 3/8 inning while striking out 2. He's fan 5, and we go to the 9th. Realizing now that Atlanta has 3 outs, prevent their team from going to the World Series. Lean trying to pad the lead at the wall. Gant the catch. Well, Jeff Reardon greeted with a long fly to left by Lean, and Doug Drabek will come up to bat with 1 out in the top of the 9th.
Sometimes
he'll be back as a Brave next year. His contract expires at the end of this season. Drabek chased the pitch way out of the strike zone. The World Series begins Saturday. And that's ball 4. Reardon walks him on 4 pitches. He passed Wally Fingers with a save in a game against the Yankees. That's back to the backstop, and now the runner is in scoring position. On a wild pitch, charged to Reardon.
it looked like Lloyd McClendon pulled his left hamstring. That will often happen. Could be thinking about would be Jimmy Key.
Bell down to third. Pendleton stayed down with it, and that ends the inning. Last call for the Atlanta Braves. Pendleton, Justice, and Bream coming up. We go to the bottom of the 9th in Game 7 of the National League Championship Series. Pittsburgh leads 2-0.
He's had pinpoint control throughout. He's only walked 1, and that was after a battle with Gant on a 3-2 pitch in the 7th. Pendleton pulls it down the right field line, hooking toward the corner. It is a fair ball. Pendleton on his way to second with a leadoff double. Justice at the plate, Bream on deck. Rounded to the right, booted by Lean. Pendleton to third on the play. Drabek about to throw pitch number 129. The 3-0 to Bream. Ball 4. After the second walk that he issued tonight, Stan Belinda takes over. Clark Bar and Grill. Tying run at second, winning run at first. Gant hits one to left. Bonds on the track, at the wall, makes the catch. Pendleton on to score the first Atlanta run of the ball game. Pitch. Ball 4. Oh, so close was the last pitch to Berryhill.
And Mike LaValliere barking at home plate umpire Randy Marsh.
Pittsburgh leads 2-1. 1 out and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th. Hunter, little looper, Lean is there and makes the catch. The runner tags but will not try it. Down in the bottom of the 9th. He doesn't walk much. He walked only 17 times and 300 at-bats in AAA this year. He hacked at the 2-0, now the 2-1. Line drive and a base hit! Justice has scored the tying run. Bream to the plate. And he is safe! Safe at the plate! The Braves go to the World Series!